Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome back to the channel. We are here today to do some more PlayStation VR2 news, and today terrible PSVR2 game got announced and it looks really bad. Like proper bad. But that's not all, we also got some sad news about a studio that cannot afford to keep supporting PSVR2 anymore. But also some good news from another developer who is celebrating success and thanking PSVR2 players for it. On top of that, we've got fresh info about Automa, the latest announcement that everyone instantly fell in love with, plus I'll be giving you my review of Hitman World of Assassination, Eminem vs Slim Shady, the new Elusive Target mission. Lots to get through today, so if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, it helps the channel stay relevant in the algorithm and helps the channel grow as well, and I really appreciate it. Now, before we begin, a quick word from today's sponsor, All On Board.
What if game nights could bring us together again, just like before? Play with your friends no matter how far apart you are. From classic games that define generations to an ever-growing library of popular licensed games. Designed from the ground up for VR, it feels as natural as playing in real life. Smart Glance enhances All On Board's usability with rule reminders, contextual actions, and more. It's easy to learn with step-by-step video tutorials. Bring the action into your living room with XR mode. Get new tabletop titles, coming frequently as DLC. Your friends can join in, even if they don't own them. And if the session runs too long, you can always save and pick it up another day. This is just the beginning of All On Board. Game nights, reinvented.
Okay, let's start from the review. Hitman World of Assassination, Eminem vs Slim Shady. A collaboration that sounds very odd, maybe even silly. But then again, this is IO Interactive. And when it comes to Hitman, everything they touch usually turns into gold. But is Eminem vs Slim Shady actually good? Or does it suck balls? To be honest, who gives a fuck? It is free. I just want to show you some footage and talk about it. The mission takes place in Hokkaido, except Slim Shady has turned it into some weird ass nightmare asylum, basically his own twisted playground. Eminem wants you, Agent 47, to take care of Slim Shady once and for all. Simply put, and just fun to execute. The map is familiar but transformed for the occasion. And there's this brilliant mirror mechanic where mirrors act like portals. Nothing makes me happier than blowing Slim Shady up in the plain sight and then legging it into the nearest mirror just to see where I end up. It's stupidly fun and the chaos potential is unreal. They've also added a new house area with some kind of secrets inside. I won't spoil too much of it, but just know the whole thing leans into the surreal, almost dreamlike vibe. It's classic Hitman, just with a wild twist and very ridiculous, but yet enjoyable story strapped to it. And the dialogues, some of them are proper hilarious, worth stopping and listening to.
Hey, does anyone remember what day it is, or why we're here?
We're here to eat spaghetti, obviously.
Is that the reason we exist? Oh my god.
Personally, I'm loving it.
Crazy thought, guys. Hear me out. Anybody want to get spaghetti after this?
Now, sometimes elusive targets aren't fully optimized for VR. Most are, but you do get occasional odd one that only works flat. We spit on flat. Thankfully, this one is VR friendly, and it adds a good few extra hours of fun to the game. It's weird, it's fun, and it's Hitman, so of course it looks beautiful on PSVR2 as well. It plays great and it doesn't cost a penny until the end of December. So, go pick it up, play it, enjoy it. Once again, Hitman delivers big time. What an amazing game. Now, let's move on to the news. We're starting from Automa, and it was finally officially announced after the little accidental leak on the Hong Kongian PlayStation Store, and you can already wishlist it, and you should. It's scheduled to release in 2026. And seriously, make this a habit. Whenever you see a promising PSVR2 title, jump onto the PlayStation Store and hit that wishlist button. The store algorithm is wishlist driven, so it helps games get more visibility and gives the PSVR2 platforms a fighting chance. Your wishlist goes a long way. The trailer for Automa looks great, the game itself looks fantastic, and from what we know so far, it's running very well on Quest 3 because that's where the demo is on that headset, and it looks pretty impressively optimized. So fingers crossed, we get a proper PSVR2 port. Not like Fifth VR, which is pretty much just Quest version slapped onto PSVR2. I'm talking headset rumble, advanced haptics, adaptive triggers, eye-tracked foveated rendering, HDR, the full package, and of course the visual upgrades that actually take advantage of PSVR2. So fingers crossed, but so far so good. Okay, next story, a new game just got announced called Feed My Raptor VR. This is one of those cheap platinum trophy giver games, the kind that pretty much exists solely so people can buy it, play it for 5 minutes and walk away with another platinum. Myself, I don't get it. I mean, I couldn't give a more or less of a fuck about trophies, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm bringing it up for a reason though, and that leads me straight into the next story. Let's start with Vertex Breakers and their game V-Racer Hoverbike. During November, it was the only new PlayStation VR2 title that managed to break into the top 10 sales chart in both US and Europe. None of the other new releases, and we actually had some proper bangers, showed up in top 10 at all. Now, that doesn't mean the others sold badly. November was packed with heavy discounts, so of course people were scooping up loads of sale titles. And judging by the chart, there are clearly a lot of new PSVR2 owners who immediately grabbed all the big name classics first. But here's the important part. The developers of V-Racer Hoverbike actually came out and thanked PSVR2 community, saying more updates are on the way, more content, more reasons to race, and more support. So, it is a great success story on our PSVR2, and we always have to celebrate those, which leads me to the next story, and I want to say this as respectfully as I possibly can, because I truly appreciate this developer and the hard work they've put in. But sometimes being foreign makes me worry that what I write maybe or comment somewhere sounds a bit frosty or nasty, but that's not the case here at all. I really do value their effort. We need to talk about TunerMax, the studio behind Rainbow Reactor Fusion, Snow Scout and 90s Extreme Skiing. The developer recently explained that Sony gave them a free PSVR2 dev kit for 1 year, which apparently is something Sony does to help smaller indie teams. But that year now ended, Sony wants the kit back, most likely to pass it on to another indie studio, and TunerMax would now need to buy their own. On top of that, their Unity Pro license has expired, and renewing it costs around $2,000, not 2,000. Yeah, $2,000 he said, which they said they simply can't justify right now. So, because of that combination, they unfortunately have to stop supporting PSVR2. And to be clear, that is absolutely fair enough. Those things add up, and small studios often operate on razor-thin margins. I've actually spoken with this developer before, I'm talking here years ago, and I really enjoyed Rainbow Reaction Fusion back on Quest 2. But on PSVR 2, their games just don't really stand much of a chance, and I mean that respectfully, as much respectfully as I can. They simply feel more at home on Quest. put 90s extreme skin next to something like V-Racer hoverbike, and you immediately see why V-Racer is celebrating success while Tuner Max is stepping away. Same story with Sweet Surrender not so long ago back. Some games just don't land with the PSVR2 audience. Not because they're bad, but because the bar on PSVR2 is pretty high and players expect more in terms of polish, visuals and immersion. And let's be honest, a lot of people are tired of that older cartoony art style. They avoid it on site nowadays, especially on a headset that can deliver such amazing visuals. But I want to make something here very clear. I think Tuner Max games are fine. I like the developer himself as well. He's a smart, passionate, hardworking and cool person. I wish their games sold well enough on PSVR2 for them to stay. But hey, the tough reality is that intentions and passion don't always translate to sales. We live in a bit of a PSVR2 community bubble. We are the hardcore fans who watch the videos, comment, follow developers, stay plugged into every update, but the majority of PSVR2 owners are not like that. They buy 1 or 2 games a month, they don't watch YouTube or join Reddit, Facebook groups. They just scroll the PlayStation Store, look at the trailer, look at the screenshots and make the decision that way. Those are the people who matter the most for long-term success. And if your game isn't highly visible on the store, and if it looks maybe too small, too indie or a bit outdated compared to the competition, then sadly it's not going to sell as well as it could. But genuinely, I wish Tuner Max all the success they deserve, and judging by the way the developer talks in their videos, I fully believe he can take constructive criticism on board and come back bigger and stronger one day. And since I mentioned Feed My Raptor earlier and I said it's for a reason, here is why. You probably noticed this trend lately, a wave of absolute cash grabbing bullshit hitting the PlayStation Store, both flat and VR. And Feed My Raptor VR is a perfect example. Calling it a game is generous. It is a joke of a release, clearly made for one reason only, to sell a few copies to trophy hunters and move on. And here's where I'm making the connection. Sony giving indie studios a free dev kit for a year is, actually very kind of them. It's a kind gesture, but I completely understand why they don't extend it like forever. Because if they did, the store would be swarming with even more low-effort shovelware like fucking Raptor VR or them other high-traffic racing games, whatever they called. And that's the sad part here. Games like that, like Feed My Raptor VR, actually steal the attention and potential sales away from proper developers who put in real work. Developers like Tuner Max, who actually try, who actually care, and who still struggle. So, this is just my 2 cents, but it is what it is. Anyway, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. And that's it, bye 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 bye.